Wagyu Gaming. Hey there broskies, Wagyu here and back with another Genshin Impact video. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So here are 5 resource management tips that you should be doing in order to progress faster and be able to ascend your units or your main units as fast as you can. Okay, so number 1, at the beginning of the game, there might be an abundance of resources. Resources such as Mora, Ascension materials, and leveling up materials. However, in the later part, there will be less and less of these materials. It is recommended that you invest in 2 characters from different elements. This way, you won't be in any conflict in the materials you're going to use. It is very much recommended that you build your main DPS as one of these units. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean by this. So here are my main units. So it's going to be Venti and Kuting. Okay, so let me show you guys how much resource I have. So currently I am short in Mora, as you can see here. I can't even ascend my TT to Ascension rank 2, and yeah, I wanted her to be in Ascension rank 2, but currently I can't do that. I do lack the violet grass, but other materials I have abundance of. But the more you're going to be awakening your units and the less farming you're going to do, then you're going to be lacking in a lot of these resources. Okay, so yeah, this is what I mean. So I lack Mora right now. However, at the beginning of the game I was like, oh, I have tons of Mora, I can just spend this however I want. So I built up 3 characters to higher levels, like that's Venti, Kuting, and D-Lock. However, I'm not even using D-Lock right now, so that's quite the waste of resource on D-Lock. Okay, so I highly suggest you just build 2 characters like Venti and Kuting. Yeah, I invested well in them, but D-Lock was a bit of a waste. I should have just invested it more on TT and Xiangling in order to really develop my main team. Okay, so this is what I mean, but at the beginning of the game, yes, you do have lots of resources, but during the mid-game or the later part of the game, it's going to be lacking for you guys. You're going to be needing to farm a lot. Okay, so tip number 2, let's talk about the fragile resins and the resins in general for tip 2 to 4. So save your fragile resins, these ones, for adventure rank 28 to 29 and 30 to 32. So while I was going through these levels, so currently I am adventure rank 33. So I haven't done my daily quests yet, since I'm trying to save it up to burst 34 to 35 as fast as I can. So let's go back to my bag and let me show you guys what I mean. So yeah, so you're going to be needing to save this fragile resins. If you haven't reached 28 to 29 yet and 30 to 32, then save these up for those levels. It's going to be a grind fest during those levels, since you don't have any quests at all during those levels. Or you may have some if you haven't cleared everything, but majority of us might have already cleared a lot during these stages. Okay, 29 to 30, it's going to be a bit easier since there's a quest that gives a lot of experience. I think around 3k or 4k experience during that level, so it's going to be fast. But 28 to 29 was a grind fest for me. 30 to 32 was a grind fest. 33 even. But yeah, I did a bit of questing during 33 right now, so that's why, as you can see, I'm almost at 34. Okay, so the only way you're going to be leveling up during these levels will be through chests and boss hunts. So if you're going to be doing boss hunts, you're going to be needing these refreshes in order to grind out. Okay, so alongside the Primo Gems, these are the best options you have, since you can only refresh 5 times in a day for the Primo Gems option. Okay, so use your fragile resins during these stages. I highly recommend it. Okay, so next is, speaking of resins, let's speak about the original resin. Okay, so as you can see here in the map, you only get 180 original resins per day that naturally replenishes as the day goes by. Okay, so that's a very limited resource. So 180 resins is only equivalent to 4 boss fights, 4 elite boss fights, and 1 leyline crop, something like this one, leyline outcrop. Okay, so that's only equivalent to those. So that's very limited. So that's equivalent to around 1,100 experience, 1,200 more or less. Yeah, 1,200 experience. So yeah, I highly suggest that you don't let it max out at 120, since that's going to be wasting your resources in a day. And yeah, I highly recommend that you use it as much as you can in any content at all. So that leads us to tip number 4. So tip number 4 is that no matter what content you're going to be clearing, 1 resin will always be equivalent to 5 adventure rank experience. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean by this. So the best way to show you guys what I mean by this is to show you guys the adventure journal. So let's go to domain. So let's go to a random domain. So let's teleport here. Okay, so we're here. I'm currently playing the PC, so let me show you guys what I mean. So it costs you 20 resins to open the treasure in this domain. Okay, it's going to give you 100 adventure rank experience. Okay, so it doesn't matter what content you're going to be clearing. It's going to be 1:5. Okay, so don't be afraid to use your resins. Okay, let me show you guys another example. So if you're going to check the bosses out, let's check out an elite boss. So this one, the electrohypostasis. So it's going to cost you 40 resins, okay, to open the chest for the electrohypostasis. However, it's only going to give you 200 experience. So it doesn't matter what content again you're going to clear. So don't be afraid to use your resins in a day. Always use it in any content. But be sure to be farming the right units, the right bosses in order to be efficient, even more efficient, okay? So that's a bonus tip I can give you guys. So for example, you're trying to build Kuting, like for example me, I'm trying to build Kuting. So one of the better units I can be farming, one of the better bosses I can be farming was the electrohypostasis. Okay, since this actually gives me the materials I'm going to need in order to ascend my Kuting more. Okay, so don't mind the equipments yet. The best level to farm equipments will be at around adventure rank 35. So yeah, save up and grind as fast as you can to 35, or just enjoy the game for that matter. You don't need to be rushing things. But yeah, I highly recommend you start farming at 35. But for me, to clear electrohypostasis, will be hitting 2 birds with 1 stone alongside consuming my resins. It will be helpful for me to farm this since it will be useful for ascending my Kuting as my main DPS unit. Okay, so that's a bonus tip I can give you guys. So tip number 5, last but not the least. Okay, so this is going to be quite a short video. So let's go back to the managing of units. So if you feel like your units, like if you followed my tip number 1 and you built up your 2 main units, like for example what I did. Okay, Venti and Kuting are at level 60. Okay, so they're at Ascension rank 3, as you saw there. So yeah, Ascension rank 3. So my other units, so the other 2 units that I have, so my support, my healer, and my support, or my activator. So yeah, I use Xiangling as my activator since I like the fire panda that falls on the ground, just keeps breathing fire. Yeah, it really helps with the combo of my Kuting. Okay, so what I recommend in order for your 2 other units not to fall out of your playthrough the game, since you might feel like they're dying out fast, they can't survive fights, they can't actually heal. So what I highly recommend is to level them up or ascend them to Ascension rank 2. So my TT is a bit off since it's only Ascension rank 1, but it's been surviving. She's been surviving, yeah. She's been doing well. I just got her recently, so I'm still building her up. I should have not built up my D-Lock yet since I am not really going to be building up my second team yet. But my Xiangling, though, on the other hand, is in Ascension rank 2, so she's pretty good. Although, as I mentioned, I don't have enough materials anymore, and even Mora in order for me to level her up to 50. Okay, so it would help to always mine your resources, not just randomly building units like what I did to D-Lock. Okay, so anyway, that's it for this video. If this video has helped you in any way, then please do consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more of our content, so please do consider subscribing to the channel. It will surely help us grow the channel as well. So we'll be covering Genshin Impact and a lot more of gacha games in this channel. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in the next one.